Chelsea will be your safari driver out here today at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Please remain fully and completely seated at all times, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. If you have a little one, do not raise them in the air with their baby Simba. They are not Simba, you are not Rafiki, and unfortunately for you, we are not reenacting the Lion King. Any loose belongings hang on this very tightly. If they fall from the truck, raise your right hand, I'll raise my left one, we can wave about your item together. Be like Elsa and let it go. Hi.
Whee! Off we go! Into the jungle! Or safari, whatever we call it today.
We're gonna wait for this lovely light to turn solid. It's a very typical process. Happens every 30 seconds or so. So as soon as it turns solid, that's gonna be clearance from the warden and you're into the reserve. So we're gonna start a safari out here today in the Little Ituri Forest, home to lots of different animals that like to camouflage themselves, blend in with their different surroundings. So if you keep an eye out there to the right, you should be finding the okapi. Way over there in that left-hand corner on the right. The okapi are what's believed to be mythological, being the cross between a donkey, a zebra, and a giraffe. They weren't discovered until 1901. No one could find them, but ta-da, we found them. Yeah. And they have one relative, it's the giraffe. Very similar facial structure as well as a very long tongue. Their tongues are so long they can lick their own eyeball. Yeah. Over there to the right, that's the saddle-billed stork. Gets their name, they look like they have a saddle on their bill and it's a stork. Ta-da! The saddle-billed stork. Now they don't have any vocal cords, so you'll never hear them, but the way to tell males and females apart is by their eye color. Males will have brown eyes, females will have yellow eyes. Their wingspan's also about 10 feet long. It's like we got a really good view of these rhinos over here on the left-hand side. These are the black rhinos. They're about 3,000 pound solitary animal subspecies to the white rhino. Just like how there's different kinds of cats and dogs, there are different kinds of rhinos. So there are 5 different species of the rhinos. 4 of those are critically endangered. They don't have any natural predators in the wild. It's just as humans poach them for their horns. They're made up of a mineral called keratin. It's what our fingernails are made up of. So poaching your rhino for its horn does literally nothing. All keratin does is grow. Now they can file their horns just like we can file their fingernails. And if they crack, break, or fall off, they will grow back since they're not attached to their skull. For the black rhinos, their numbers have decreased from 65,000 of them back many years ago to just under 5,000 here today in 2022. Now with help of reserves like ours around the world, we'll be able to work together to repopulate them to put them back into the wild in the future. And then it looks like there are some orange antelope over here on the left-hand side. These are the fondos, known as the ghosts of the forest. They have white stripes to help them blend in with the different surroundings. If you see that one way on top of the hill over there with the black coat, that is the male. The male fondo's coat does darken with age. The female coat will stay the same throughout her entire life. Now we're going to make our next stop up ahead here into the Safi River, home of the Nile hippopotamus as well as the Nile crocodile. They are 2 very territorial animals as well as 2 of the most dangerous animals in all of Africa. A fully grown hippo can be up to about 6,000 pounds. Babies will be about 85 pounds when they are born. They are nocturnal. They spend most of the day in the water sleeping, coming up at the end of the night to graze. They'll eat around 90 pounds vegetation per day. They're way back there in that corner. They can stay fully submerged in the water for up to 8 minutes at a time. They have a natural instinct. If they were to fall asleep in the water, they're going to pop up to the surface, grab a breath of air, sink back down to the bottom without ever waking up, which is really cool. I wish I could do that. Now they'll live in a bloat, B-L-O-A-T, all the way over here on the left-hand side, and it looks like Greta is out of the water. Greta is about a year old or so. Now they do mark their territory with their poop, so if you smell that, it's the hippo. You're welcome.
Nobody likes the smell of poop.
Isn't she cute?
Look at how cute she is. She's so little.
So little.
Such a little baby. Hi, Greta. Goodbye, Greta.
Alright, coming around the corner, we're going to cross over the Nile crocodiles. The Nile crocodiles are 20 feet long. They weigh 500 pounds. They can eat half of their body weight in one sitting. Their jaws are strong enough for them to squish anything that may come in their way. If you see any of them with their mouth open, that's how they regulate their body temperature since it gets very hot here in Africa. They normally only eat once a week, sometimes it's every other week, and they are able to push that food off for longer as they need to. River crocodiles on land is called a bass, one of the waters afloat, and they are the closest known living relative to the dinosaur. Over here on the right hand side, the Bayouban tree, known as the upside down tree. They grow leafless for up to 9 months out of the year. They grow to be several thousands of years old. According to African folktale, when the creator made the world, he had the world just the way he wanted it. He reached into his creation bag and he found a tree. Now he didn't want the tree since his world was perfect. He threw it up over his shoulder and landed upside down. Now we have the Bayouban tree. The only other place to see one other than here in Africa is the Tree of Life. There's over 300 animals are to the Tree of Life. We're gonna see one of my favorite animals over here on the right hand side. This is the Patterson's eland. Males are going to get a really dark gray coat once they're fully at maturity level. Now they are the largest antelope in all of Africa, stand about 6 feet tall, weigh about 2,000 pounds. When they walk, their joints rub together so they make a clicking noise. It's actually a mating call of the females. They know he's masculine, strong, of age, etc. He also will make a flower crown around his horns, signifying he wants to mate. So sometimes they will uproot an entire plant. It's amazing. Over here on the right, we have the Ankole cattle. Their horns span 6 feet, tip to tip, and they also stand about 6 feet tall. Now their horns look very heavy, but they're only about 10 pounds each or so. They're almost completely hollow. They're made of a honeycomb structure. Their blood can run through them to help keep them cool. So on a hot day, they can push their blood up all the way to the top of their horns to help regulate their body temperature. I'm not seeing any hyenas over here on the left. Do you see anything?
I do not. I'm
okay,
sorry.
we'll keep going.
Goodbye, hyenas.
Now the hyenas are pretty cool. They live in a matriarchal society where the female is the dominant one of the group. The lowest ranked female is always higher than the highest ranked male. They can digest everything, including bones. Oftentimes that lowest ranked male is going to eat bones for dinner. Calcium from their bones turn their poop white. So if you ever see white poop, it comes from a hyena. Again, you're welcome.
I enjoy your fun facts.
Thank you.
Whee!
For the record, Liz is the only one on the safari.
That would be me. Hello, I'm gonna wave.
Let's see, Sissy. Okay, yeah, so that was Boo over there. Boo's our daughter, and then this is Finn. This is our lovely male. He came to us from the lodge. He's very handsome.
Hello, you're very handsome.
Just said my favorite animal here in all of Africa. They're very underrated. We're gonna see lots and lots of wildebeest stuff ahead here on the right hand side. A group of wildebeest is called a confusion. When they stand there, they look confused. That is the literal reason why they're called a confusion. So naturally, it's like they're back to mount the wildebeest. They have one of the largest migrations in the entire world. They'll migrate once a year with up to 1 million wildebeest, about 1,000 miles each. It's called the Great Migration. It happens every year in Africa. Now they are known as the GNU. The GNU, they make a noise. It sounds like "Rah."
I see a zebra.
Coming up, we have the Hartmann's Mountain Zebras. Now, there are 3 different zebra species. The Hartmann's Mountain Zebras are the largest zebras. They have the largest stripes of any zebra. They are neither black or white. They are simply just striped. A group of zebras is called a dazzle. Their coat pattern together is going to confuse the predators or often dazzle them. And if you look to the left, a bunch of giraffes over here. Looks like there's one chilling, sitting down. Now, since they're 20 feet tall, it's very hard for them to stand back up, so normally they only sit down when they're super comfortable with their surroundings. They are 20 feet tall when they're fully grown, 6 feet tall when they're born. They give birth standing up, so the first thing that they experience is a 6-foot drop to the ground. That's a good thing. It does start their heart, which is around 25 pounds, about the size of a basketball. Similar to the okapi, their tongues are 2 feet long enough for them to lift their own eyeball. They're also purple in color, so they don't get sunburned. Since they spend those 20 hours of the day eating, they'll sleep for 30 minutes, doing that in 5-minute naps throughout the day. Some more wildebeests over there on the right-hand side. It's like they have their own little groups of friends. Coming up over here into elephant country. Sometimes we can find them, other times we can't. Looks like we are in luck. There is an elephant over there to the right-hand side. African elephant, because we are in
Africa.
Thank you for your participation. Really appreciate it. Now, depending on if they're male or female, they can get up to between 11,000 pounds to 13,000 pounds in weight, which means they eat a lot of food. They'll eat what we eat in an entire year in one day, so that's 500 pounds of food per day. For us, it's equivalent to eating 5,000 fully sized candy bars in one sitting.
Whoa. Oh no, the road is closed. What are we going to do? Terrifying.
We're gonna follow the road.
I'm sorry, I'm hijacking your show.
We have researchers out here that work out on the reserve. They help study the animals to help them live better in the wild. One thing that we figured out here on the reserve is that the elephants are afraid of bees. They are very intelligent animals that can hear up to 3 miles away. Our researchers played some different sounds for them to see if they did anything, and we figured out that they were afraid of bees fairly quickly. So we ended up relaying that information to other reserves and farms around the world. It turns out in other parts of the world, elephants are bothering some farms and destroying everything. So the farmers decided to put beehives around the perimeter of their property in order for them to help keep the elephants away. Speaking of elephants, there are some more up ahead here on the left. We're going to keep going up a little bit further over the cattle guard, and then we'll get a really great view of them. Okay, really great view of them there to the left as soon as I pull up in front of the trees. A group of elephants is called a memory, so these are the females over here on the left. Because there's more than one.
Hello, elephants. I tried to
Now it's pretty warm today, so you'll see them flapping their ears back and forth to help maintain airflow. They'll also fling dirt and mud on their backs to use as a form of sunscreen to help keep their skin protected from the sun, since their skin is very thin. Rhinos will do that as well, except they, don't have a trunk to fling mud on themselves, so they're just gonna roll around in the mud. Kind of use it like we would use a sprinkler or something cool. And the ninth wonder of the world, the backside of an elephant.
Backside of the elephant!
Alright, greater flamingo here on the left-hand side, the largest pink flamingo in all of Africa. They'll stand 5 feet tall, they only weigh 9 pounds. They'll get their color from the shrimp that they eat. They'll be born gray. It will take them about 2 years for them to fully develop their pink color. When it's nesting season for them, they'll lay some eggs. It takes about 30 days for one to hatch. Each female flamingo will get a new husband every single year.
Well, that will keep things spicy.
Right?
We'll leave it at that.
Alright, so we talked about those rhinos back in the forest. There is a species of the rhino in the world called the northern white rhino. There's only 2 females left in the entire world. It's a mom and a daughter. With the help of science, they're going to try to genetically reproduce their species in the next couple of years. It's a really great breakthrough for science, just under really bad circumstances. Now that mom is not suitable for breeding anymore, and it's up to the daughter to repopulate the entire northern white rhino population. If you're curious about that, feel free to Google the northern white rhinos. Now here in the savannah we have the white rhinos. They are the least endangered rhino species, but they are still endangered regardless. They are the largest rhino. They are 5,000 pounds, very social animals. They like to live in a group called a crash. They have very poor eyesight, so the only way to know if they'll bump into something is if they crash into it. They can't see more than 5 to 10 feet in front of them, which is why they're very susceptible to poaching and crashing into things. Hopefully we're going to find them a little bit later. For now, we're going to look for any cheetahs. Cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They can run 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a couple of seconds. Sometimes it's very hard to see them over here in this first yard, so we might have to keep going to the second yard. I don't see any of them over here.
I don't see any either. Cheetahs are my favorite animals.
So what do you know about them?
I know that they are super fast, that they can live alone or in a pack, and they can climb trees.
See him over here, to the left.
I see him, I see him, I see him. I'm trying to keep my hand inside your ride vehicle.
Okay. They are the fastest land animal, 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a couple of seconds. They can't keep their speed for very long, just a couple hundred meters. If they can't catch whatever they're after within that short amount of time, they'll have to rest and try again a little bit later. Now they are the only predator to still purr when they reach adulthood. All the other bigger cats will roar and growl, so if you're ever in Africa, you hear purring over from a bush. Good luck. Here is our male lion taking a snooze. Over here on the left, you'll see the females as well.
Oh, kittens!
Oh, see both of them, all 3 of them.
Kittens!
They're cute from afar when they're sleeping. They are 600 pounds. Their paws are the size of your face, and if you hook your finger over, that's how big their claws are. So please stitch my house cats. Our male lion over there, Takari, is the face of Mufasa from the live-action Lion King movie, which is super exciting. Oh, big yawn.
I think I got that.
Now, they do sleep for 20 hours of the day. They're active for a couple hours throughout the day, which means collectively throughout their entire lifetime, they're only awake for 3 years. That is what their 11 to 12-year lifespan, which is the same as a cheetah, except cheetahs are like us and are awake for more than half their life, unless you're like me and you like to sleep.
I like naps.
You like naps, me too.
That's why we're friends.
No rhinos, but there is my other favorite animal there to the right-hand side. You see him over there? The little tiny brownie white antelope. That is Sebastian. He is called a bontebok. You may have never heard of a Bontebok before they are completely extinct in the wild and only exist on reserves like ours around the world. Now back in the early 1800s, there were only 17 of the Bontebok in the entire world. All 17 of them ended up on a farm, and the farmer raised the Bontebok from going extinct. With the help of reserves like ours around the world today, we've been able to increase their numbers to 3,000, which is pretty awesome. Liz, do you know what the word lion is in Swahili?
I do not.
You do not. Do you want to take a guess?
Ooh.
It's not lion. That is the English word for lion.
Kitten?
Who's the main character of the Lion King movie?
Simba!
Simba means lion. Great job. You did it. Over there on the left. See him back there?
He's moving, he's
The
moving.
warthog. 4 different tusks. 2 for burrowing, 2 for defense. At the end of the night, they'll back themselves up into the burrows, sit their tusks out, and defend themselves from predators. Now, Pumbaa means to be foolish, but the warthogs are not foolish animals. Oftentimes they use burrows left over from other animals as homes. It puts one less hole in the ground, and it's less work for the warthog. And still no rhinos, but we do have some eggs over there. Came from an ostrich. Ostriches are the world's largest bird. Thank goodness they're flightless, otherwise they'd be so scary. Their eggs are 3 pounds each. They are the size of your face. A fully grown human can step on the egg and it will not break. They need over 250 pounds of pressure all at once in order for it to break the egg surface. If you are going to try to eat one, it will take you 6 hours. They're equivalent to eating 2 dozen chicken eggs. So we are not just in that theory. Ostriches go 40 miles an hour. I go 8. Yeah, but in all seriousness, only 1/3 of them hatch. We do want to save as many animals here in Africa as possible. And this last area used to be used as a passageway between different parts of the savannah for some of our different animals. The one I did notice is that they have a farm-raising Nigerian dwarf goats, so you'll see them all over here. Most of them are adults. They're fully grown, 2 feet tall, but some of them are babies. They were born back in December, so about 6 months old or so. They're very cute.
Oh, little babies. Little baby goats. Hello, ba. Ba.
My favorite is when they're in the back of the truck, but since the wardens are out there, they're not going to get back to the truck. But whenever you come over here, always check the back of the truck. Sometimes they're waiting over there for a ride.
Oh,
You can, in fact, domesticate the Nigerian dwarf goats. They are very beneficial to the environment. Now remember to help protect the local wildlife. All you have to do is just recycle. Recycling your park maps, your water bottles, even recycling your old cell phones. A lot of these animals' homes are being mined for a mineral called coltan, which is found in your electronics. So by recycling your electronics, you're going to help save the home of that animal. You can also donate to Disney's Conservation Fund. Right now they're working with about 13 different species, including African wild ducks, sea turtles, tiger, coral, rhinos, and many other animals. You can learn more about that at any merchandise location. Now Disney will match penny for penny, dollar for dollar if you decide to donate. So if you go buy something later, round up your change, donate that to the Conservation Fund. I promise you every penny does help to help protect the animals we know and love today. Thank you so much for joining us today here in Kilimanjaro Safaris. No 2 safaris are open to safety animals and its drivers, and make sure of that. Lots of different drivers, we all have different animal facts that we love to share with you. So truly no 2 safaris will ever be the same. Double check around those roads, hats, glasses, wallets, cell phones, loved ones. Take everything with you. We don't want them left behind. It's a very long walk back here to Africa if you happen to forget anything. Once again, my name is Chelsea if you enjoyed our safari today. And if you're a wilderness explorer, you're on the Simba 1. SIMBA with the number 1. Your badge is just up the pathway there on the right-hand side. Now here in Harambe, we don't like to leave you with the word goodbye. It's far too sad, far too final. We like to leave you with the word Kwaherini, which means to go well. So folks, Kwaherini, go out in the wilds, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom or wherever your adventures may take you.